Hello and welcome to this demo video. Before we get started, I'd just like to explain to you a few things which will relate to all of the basic range spreadsheets. Number one, there is a key on the intro and setup tab of all of the spreadsheets showing what the different color headers mean. The blue headers mean that the cell's formulated, so it's locked and you can't change it. The yellow headers are where you can input data, and occasionally there might be some gray headers, which is just a different kind of data input, but we'll include instructions as and when that happens. The other thing that you can be aware of is there are ways in which you can damage the spreadsheet. So please do take a look at the link where you see this image, which will take you to a web page to show you how to better preserve your spreadsheet. Please feel free to keep a blank version of the spreadsheet somewhere, so that if you do mess up a spreadsheet that you're using, you can in fact just open a new one, a blank one. And some of the spreadsheets only last for a year, and then you've got a blank one to start the following year. So do keep a blank copy as a backup somewhere. And lastly, wherever you see this image, you can click on it. It'll take you back to the store where you purchased this product to see if you've got anything, any more products. One last thing, to see a demo video, you can click on this on a link that looks like this in order to go to the demo video, but that'll take you to the most recent demo. If in fact we've done upgrades and you're using an older version and you'd like to see the demo relating to your version, then do click on the watch on YouTube link, which will take you to that specific video on YouTube. So I think that's all you need to know. So without further ado, let's move on to this demo video. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to this demo for the International Expense Tracker. The International Expense Tracker, I've just seen on a few Facebook groups that I belong to. People have been asking, they're freelancers or independent business owners, and they want to keep track of their expenses for their clients. And some of them are working overseas, maybe in Europe or wherever the case might be, and they need to keep track of expenses. What I've done here is made up a very simple spreadsheet, starting year, starting month. The reason why I put that in is just because each of these spreadsheets should last for a year. So keep it for a year, put the date in, keep a blank copy of the spreadsheet. Next year, put in the next year, the starting month, so on. You can decide when you want to start it, if it's a financial year or a calendar year. Keep a blank spreadsheet, use it each year, that's fine, but just each copy of the spreadsheet only lasts for 1 year. Put in your default currency, put in the code for the currency. Now, these codes don't have to be exact. It's not pulling in any information from anywhere. It's using it all from the spreadsheet. So it doesn't matter if the codes are wrong, but obviously if you're giving this to your client, you don't want to give them incorrect codes, because they're going to start questioning everything. So put in the code for your default currency, and then you basically set up to go. So here are your expense. Let's first start with the client list. All you do on the client list is put the client's name in. So list your clients down here. Don't put any duplicate names. List your clients. Everything else you will update as you go along. All you do then is your expenses page. Dead simple. As you occur expenses, put in the date. Select the respective client from your drop-down list. This drop-down list will be the list of clients that you have here in the order that they are, so you can resort it. And then you can put in the description for each particular transaction. I left out an S in that description. Let's just put it in there. So you can just put in a description for the sale, so that you know what it is that you've purchased and they know what it is. If you want to put in a receipt number, you can put in a receipt number. You do need to fill in any line where you enter anything. You need to fill in at least those three. So you need to put in the date, you need to put in the client, and you need to put in a description. The receipt number is optional. You can do that if you want to. Now, your currency, if you use the default currency, you just leave it blank, as I have done there. If you're using another currency, type in the code of the currency that you're using. It's as simple as that. Now, because it's not getting any information from anywhere, it's all in the spreadsheet, and because I didn't want to have a drop-down list of currencies and obviously putting in exchange rates, you can just put in the rate for the day. So for argument's sake, here where I put in ZAR, South African Rands, 500, what would be the exchange rate for the day? Put in 0.05. Here you've used Euro, put in the exchange rate for the day. Now, here we've used ZAR again, but we haven't put in an exchange rate. The reason being is because we already have an exchange rate from that day. As you can see, they're all taking place on the 1st of January. If this one here actually took place on the 2nd of January, then that cell would turn yellow and it would say that it needs an exchange rate, because it won't take the exchange rate from the day before. It'll take the exchange rate. But once you put the exchange rate in for a particular currency on a particular day, it won't ask you again. If you put one in, it'll use it, but it'll come up pink and just say issues question mark. So basically asking why have you put in 2 when you only really need 1. Because what the spreadsheet's doing behind the scenes is it's calculating, it's finding a rate that you put in a particular day, and it's using that throughout the entire day. So as long as you put it in once per day per currency, as I said, it will flag up yellow to show you put it in. If it doesn't flag up yellow, don't put in a currency because it doesn't need one. And that it'll work out your price in your Great British Pounds. That was your default currency. It'll show you the price in the default currency as you go along, and that is all you need to fill in. That and the client list. The client report will update as you go along, but all you can do is come here and you can filter. So if you leave it blank, it'll show everybody. It'll show all of your clients. If you come here and select the client name, your client, it'll show your client. Obviously, I've only got one, so I can only show you one. If you leave it blank, as I said, it will show everybody in the client report. So you can filter by client and you can filter by start and end date. If you leave that blank, it'll take every transaction for that client. If you put in, say, 1st of January to 30th of January or 1st of January to 7th of January, if you want to do it weekly or quarterly or monthly or fortnightly, whatever it is you want to do, you can put in the dates. So select the client, put in the start date and end date. It'll include those 2 dates. And then as it says, page 1 of 1, so it's showing you page 1 of 1. If it goes on, if you scroll down to the end and there's still data to come, it'll then say page 1 of 2, and you can change that to 2, and you can see page 2 of 2. So make sure you print them both off or save them both as a PDF to send them to the client, not just one. But here you can see how many pages there are. In this case, there is only one. It'll show you the date, the transaction, the value, the currency you used, and the value of that particular currency that you've used in all of the situations. And that's it. You can generate that report, just fill in the details on the right here, your client list, the client names down there, all these values per month of what you've spent in your default currency will all automatically calculate as you go along. And as you said, your expenses you fill in over there. And I think that's it. So if you are doing work internationally and collecting expenses, I hope that this was really helpful to you, and I wish you all the best with that. Thank you and goodbye.